Welcome back. It's 5:10. We have a special Cold Case 13 report this morning. You probably heard of the Golden State Killer, a murderer and rapist who terrorized parts of California 4 decades ago.
It's a case that was never solved until a breakthrough in DNA technology that is now solving similar cases around the country. Technology that we discovered is finally, though slowly, making its way to New York and solving cold cases here. News Channel 13's Jerry Gretzinger has the story.
When police recover DNA from a crime scene, they look for a match in CODIS, the databank of DNA collected from convicted offenders and arrestees. 40% of the time, they get a hit.
But 60% of the time, we don't get a hit, as in the person is not in the law enforcement database. And when the investigative leads have run out, those cases go cold.
Ray Wickenheiser is the New York State Police Crime Lab System Director. He's also an expert in investigative genetic genealogy, which is not about finding an exact match to crime scene DNA, but a close or familial match.
So those are people we know did not commit the crime, but may be distantly related to the person that did.
A brother or father, a distant cousin. It gets police close enough to go back to their everyday investigative methods and zero in. Essentially, it gives them a lead. That's how the Golden State Killer, Joseph D'Angelo, was caught. More recently and closer to home, a similar process helped solve the 1984 murder of 14-year-old Wendy Jerome of Rochester.
It's over. It's finally over.
Jerome was raped and her throat slit, but the killer's DNA never got a match in CODIS. In 2017, New York changed the rules to allow familial searches, and they finally got something, which led police to 56-year-old Timothy Williams, a Rochester native who was living in Florida. He's now been charged with Jerome's rape and murder. Wickenheiser says these kinds of searches can deliver swift justice after years of futility. The Golden State Killer case, a perfect example.
And in 4 decades, that crime could not be solved. Once investigative genealogy was applied to the case, from the start of the case to when he was arrested was 63 days.
It took the Rochester case more than 2 years from the time of the first familial search application to get results. The Department of Criminal Justice Services says that was because the DNA sample first submitted did not meet the proper criteria. At the press conference where Rochester police announced Williams' arrest, they said the state should be doing more.
How this state does not devote more resources and more time and more personnel to focus in on the DNA technology that is out there is mind-boggling to me.
DCJS points out familial searches are reserved for the most serious crimes, murders and sexual assaults, where traditional investigative methods have been exhausted, and they proceed cautiously to protect privacy. But don't expect every cold case to suddenly heat up. There are limits to what New York State permits. While they were able to catch Williams, they would not have caught D'Angelo. And some local cold cases have been completely locked out of accessing familial search opportunities. Why and what's being done to change that? Coming up at 5 and 6.